In this excerpt, Rose is talking to Rhonda, who is the fortune teller from Shadow Kiss, who did a tarot reading way back when that was eerily symbolic. And this is another one that is going to have some meanings later on, and so that's what Rose is here for. Rose Hathaway, Rhonda said happily, setting the yogurt aside. What a nice surprise. Shouldn't you have seen me coming? I asked dryly. Her lips twitched with amusement. It's not my power. Sorry to interrupt your dinner, Ambrose told her, but Rose isn't easy to catch a hold of. I imagine not, she said. I'm impressed you got her to come at all. What can I do for you today, Rose? I shrugged and sank down beside Ambrose. I don't know. I'm only here because he talked me into it. She didn't think her last reading was very good, he said. Hey, I shot her with glare. That's not exactly what I said. Last time, Lissa and Dimitri had been with me. Rhonda's tarot cards had shown Lissa crowned with power and light. No surprise. Rhonda had said Dimitri would lose what he valued most, and he had. And me? Rhonda had bluntly told me that I'd kill the undead. I scoffed at that. Knowing I had a lifetime of Strigoi killing ahead of me. Now I wondered if there had been something to it. Maybe another reading would help the other one make more sense, she offered. My mind was putting together another fraud psychic joke, which was why it was so astonishing when my mouth said, that's the problem. The other one did make sense. I'm afraid of what the cards will show. Cards don't make the future, she said gently. We do. If something's meant to be, it'll be, regardless of whether we see it here. And even then, well, the future's always changing. If we had no choices, there'd be no point in living. See now, I said flippantly, that's the kind of vague gypsy response I was hoping for. Roma, she corrected, not gypsy. Despite my snark, she still seemed to be in a good mood. Do you want the cards or not? Did I? She was right about one thing. The future would unfold with or without me seeing it in the cards. I mean, even if the cards showed it, I probably wouldn't understand it until afterward. Okay, I said, just for fun. I mean, last time was probably a lucky guess. Rhonda rolled her eyes but said nothing as she began shuffling her tarot deck. She did it with such precision that the cards seemed to move themselves. When she finally stopped, she handed the deck to me to cut. I did, and she put it back together. She grew serious as she flipped out the cards, her eyes carefully studying them. Two of the cards had come out upside down, and I didn't take that as a good sign. Last time I learned that it means seemingly happy cards, well, not so happy. The first one was the Two of Cups, showing a man and a woman together in a grassy, flower-filled field, while the sun shone above them. Naturally, this card was upside down. Cups are tied to emotions, Rhonda explained. The Two of Cups shows a union, a perfect love and blossoming of joyous emotions. But since it's inverted, you know what, I interrupted? I think I'm getting the hang of this. You can skip that one. I have a good idea of what it means. Might as well have had my love life all over it, the cup empty and full of heartache. I didn't really want to hear Rhonda analyze what was already tearing me up. So she went on to the next one, the Queen of Swords, also upside down. Cards like this refer to specific people, Rhonda told me. The Queen of Swords looked very imperious, with auburn hair and silver robes. The Queen of Swords is clever. She thrives on knowledge, can outwit her enemies, and is ambitious. I sighed, but upside down. Upside down, said Rhonda, all of those traits get twisted. She's still smart, still trying to get her way. She's doing it through insincere ways. There's a lot of hostility and deception here. I'd say you have an enemy. Yeah, I said, eyeing the crown. I think I can guess who. I just called her a sanctimonious wench. And actually, that is not what Rose called her, but I'm in a church. So that is an editing job on the fly. For my soul and yours. Rhonda didn't comment and moved on to the next one. It was facing the right way, but I kind of wished it wasn't. It had a whole bunch of swords stuffed in the ground, and a woman tied her blindfolded to one. The Eight of Swords. Oh, come on, I exclaimed. What is it with me and swords? You gave me one this depressing last time. It had shown a woman weeping in front of a wall of swords. That was the Nine of Swords, Rhonda agreed. It could always be worse. I had a hard time believing that, I said. She picked up the rest of the deck and scanned through it, finally pulling out one card, the Ten of Swords. You could have drawn this, she said. It showed a dead guy lying on the ground with a bunch of swords driven through him. Point taken, I said. So what's the 9 mean? The 9 is being trapped, she said, unable to get out of a situation. It can also mean slander or accusation, someone encouraged to escape something. I glanced back at the Queen, thinking of the things I'd said in the council room. Those would definitely count as accusations. And being trapped? Well, yeah, there's always the possibility of a lifetime of punishment. I sighed. Okay, what's the next one? It was the best looking one in the bunch, the Six of Swords. Had a bunch of people in a boat rowing off over moonlit water. A journey, she said. suspiciously. Oh man, this isn't like some kind of spiritual journey, is it? Rhonda laughed. If it were in cups, maybe. But swords are tangible. Action. A true out-and-about journey. Where on earth would I go? Did it mean I was traveling to the academy like Tatiana had suggested? Or was it possible that, in spite of all my rule-breaking and calling her names, I might actually get an assignment after all? You could be looking for something, Rhonda explained. It may be a physical journey combined with a spiritual journey. It sounded to me like she was making that up as she went along. This last one, her eyebrows knit and frowned at the 5th card. This is hidden from me. I peered at it. The Page of Cups, I said. Seems pretty obvious. It's a page with cups. She sighed. Usually I have a clear vision. The cards speak to me and how they connect. This one's not clear. The only thing that's not clear, I said, is whether it's a girl or a boy. The person on the card looked young. They had hair and an androgynous face that made the gender impossible to determine. The blue tights and tunic didn't help, though the sunny field in the background seemed promising. It can be a boy or a girl, Rhonda said. It's the lowest in rank of the cards that represent people in each suit. King, queen, knight, and then page. Whoever the page is, it's someone trustworthy and creative, optimistic. Could mean someone who goes on the journey with you, or maybe the reason for your journey. Whatever optimism or truth I had in the cards pretty much disappeared with that. Given that she'd said just about 100 things it could be, I didn't really consider it authoritative. Usually she noticed my skepticism, but her attention was still on the card as she frowned. I just can't tell, she said. There's a cloud around it. Why? Doesn't make sense. Something about her confusion sent a chill down my spine. I always told myself this was all fake. But if she was making it up, well, why would she have made up something about the Page of Cups? She wasn't putting on a very convincing act, if this last card was making her question herself. The thought that maybe there was some mystical force out there blocking her sobered up her attitude. With a sigh, she looked up at last. Sorry, that's all I can tell you. Did the rest help? I scanned the cards. Heartache, an enemy, accusations, entrapment, travel. Some of it tells me things I already know, I said. The rest leaves me with more questions. She smiled knowingly. That's how it usually is.